picked up 30 pips on gold. Right, let me check that we are live on Facebook. I think we are. Let me go to my profile. Yes, we are. We are. So, afternoon, everyone. Afternoon, Facebook. Afternoon, Sarah.
Hello, Andy, lads.
The delay.
You're right.
The delay on this is awesome. So I assume you are coming from somewhere really exotic, like the Maldives or Bali or the Bahamas. Where are you?
I live in Bali now. I'm a professional trader. I'm in
Full-time
Wigan.
trader. Wigan, similar. So not too far from Manchester. But the joys of internet.
Same, exactly the same.
Absolutely. We'll blame on mine. Thank you ever so much for coming on. I know we were due to do this a while ago and then life got in the way. But since then, we've had some exciting developments from yourself, which we'll come on to in a moment. But this is really to sort of big you up, but also sort of give people who are watching us and who've watched us regularly a bit of confidence in the system and people's journeys and foreign exchange and trading and all that as a whole, really. But could you give us a brief history of time in terms of what you did at school, what you did following that, and how you got involved in trading? That's a big open-ended question, I'm well aware, but that's what I'm going with.
Wow. Right, okay. Where should I start? So basically, I wouldn't consider myself very academic. So I did school, I went to college, dropped college, didn't enjoy it. I'm just a doer. That's my thing. So I've always worked, didn't do anything like that. And the last 5 years I've been a HGV driver.
Okay.
So that's what I do now. But without getting too personal, I would say about 18 months ago, I sort of sat down and had a think about things, and I thought, am I happy? Do I want to work 70 hours a week for the next 20, 30 years, like I have done? Because I've always worked in sort of, low paid jobs, like warehouse jobs, things like that. And I was having to do like 60 hours a week just to pay my bills. And then as I'm driving, it's quite paid, so that got better. But I had to give up all my time. So I worked between 60, 70 hours a week. And then last year, I had a few months where I just thought, I don't want to do this anymore. I need to find a way where I can have a comfortable life, be able to pay my bills, be able to have a holiday or two. But I just want my time back. And that became really, really apparent to me. And I'd always wanted to invest the money or work from home. That's something that I'd always do. But I didn't know how to go about any of those things. And how do you replace, a nice wage with something else when you haven't got any qualifications, you're not educated? And it became a massive turning point for me when I got involved with Relentless. So it's actually been my 1 year anniversary last month with Relentless. Since I met all you guys, obviously, I'm friends with Vicky, and that's how I got into it. And I think that was a really good thing. So for anybody who has heard of Forex or crypto or trading, investing, all those sorts of things, I find that people's response is scam, blag, or whatever.
Why do you
I think it helped me. Because I do think that there are quite a lot of scams that are out, and everybody seems to know someone that something bad has happened to. But on the other hand, I think people are commenting off of hearsay. So they've got an opinion on something which they know nothing about and haven't been with themselves. And I think we're all trained to think, no, you go to school, you go to work 9 to 5, and you do that till you retire, and then you have 10 years retirement. That's what you do, and that's just the way that we're brought up. And I think I think it just never felt like enough for me, and I always thought there must be something else. Anyway, so I heard about Relentless because it was my friend Vicky that was doing it. I thought, well, friend, so I've got involved, and the rest is history, really, isn't it? And I've made friends. We're all a family, and I've learned so much. And in the last 12 months, how different my life is amazing. And I feel like it's just the start, and it's just about to really, really get good. That's what I think at the minute, and that is my life history to your open-ended question. Cheers.
Cheers. Absolutely. I've not got my Relentless mug. I've just got my normal mug today. So this is something which hasn't happened overnight for you in terms of learning the discipline, the skills, the being able to read the chart. This is a process, isn't it? This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It is something which you get out of what you put into. It's not something which suddenly happens, is it? You've got to put the hours in. Nodes aside, we'll talk about that a bit later. But in terms of trading, it's a skill, isn't it?
It is 100%, and I think that's where if people have sort of dabbled in it or heard people that have dabbled, what's happened is someone's heard, oh, you can make loads of money trading. You just on the charts and you can make thousands of pounds a day. So people try and do that. They've got no education. They've got no idea what they're doing. So they lose money, which is what's going to happen. When I first started doing it, I lost money because you might win your first couple of trades, but is it luck? I think so. And then you get a bit cocky and you don't know anything about risk management. You don't know anything about technicals. You can't read a chart. You don't know any of this stuff. You earn a couple £100 really quickly and you think you're invincible. And then the next thing that happens is you lose twice as much. And then people are like, oh, it's don't get involved with it. It's a load of rubbish. And then they go back to the job and they leave it alone. But so it's a year now that I've been involved with this and I've educated myself. I've learned about the charts, which is basically like learning a different language. It's not something that you can do in 2 minutes. I reckon I've done thousands and thousands of hours of chart time before the penny even, before to get to this point. And I feel like I'm at the point now where the penny has properly dropped, and now I can start building. It's. Do you know what? I just love it. Just love it. I've worked really hard at it every day, but it's like a hobby, and it's become a passion. And then when you surround yourself with the right people and the right tools and the right education, I think that it can be a career and it can be a life changer as well. But what a lot of people I think do is, oh yeah, I'll have a go, lose some money, and then never go back to it. But can you earn hundreds of thousands of pounds a year without any training, without learning, without committing to something, without working hard? No. And why should you be able to? If you want something, then work for it. And it's been a journey like this, but it's the best thing I've ever done. And I'm in a position now where I feel like no matter where I am in the world, I've got this skill now that hopefully is just going to get better and better. And there's just no turning back now. And
it is that mindset shift as well. And we often say it when we're talking about the lives, the old phrase of give someone a fish and they'll feed themselves for a day. But if you give someone the knowledge about how to fish for themselves, they can feed themselves, their family, their entire village, whatever, for a lifetime. And this is what this skill does. I know there's lots of clowns, for want of a better word, who pretend to be sat with the Lamborghini behind them, parked in front of the villa, in front of the beach, just flipping accounts, 50k a day on gold. But the reality of this is, it's a portable skill. Once you've got your phone and/or laptop, you can do this from anywhere in the world as long as there's an internet connection. And taking yourself back to 12, 18 months ago, when you had that chat with yourself about, am I born to work 40 hours a week, although you were doing 60 hours a week for 40 years just to pay bills and then retire on something? It's having that. People generally, I think, have the life they're prepared to put up with. And it sounds like you got to a position in your life when you went, you know what, I'm not prepared to do this anymore. And then you've got to put the hours in, haven't you?
Yeah, you have to want more, and to get more, you have to earn it. and that's just how it is, I think. But I don't think I like what you said, that this is a portable skill, and once you've got it, so you could potentially be sat on a beach and put a trade on while you go for a swim and come back, and it's just doing its thing for you. As soon as you know what you're looking for, you've got that opportunity. If you're prepared to put the work in, you're giving yourself the opportunity to at least have something better, which is something that I thought I owed to myself after such a long time of just having enough. I wanted more, and I think I've found something that can give me that now.
And you mentioned it earlier, so I'll obviously jump on it. You said surrounding yourself by like-minded people. So within Relentless, there's lots of us who are doing this, all at different parts of our journey, and there is lots of ups and downs. And we have a very eclectic group of people, and a very active chat group, for want of a better word. But I do think there is, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I think what we've created here, it makes that process and that learning easier. And as more and more people get on to being funded traders, which I'll come on to in a minute, it instills confidence in other people. But I think there is a collective desire that, everyone wants everyone else to succeed. Everyone knows that everyone's going to be at a different stage of that success journey, but being part of that collective, I think massively helps, rather than trying to do it. People can do it on their own, absolutely, but I think it's easier as a part of a group.
Yeah, I agree. And what I've found is it is like a community. We are like a family. We all know each other. We've all been out together now once COVID was over. And it's just, we've got the WhatsApp group, and every day, like, it's so funny. It's my favorite group that I'm involved with. And when you try and do something that is a little bit different from the norm, you're pushing against everyone, aren't you? So I've got like my family, friends that don't understand. You tell them what you're doing, and they're like, "Oh no, don't do that. Just stick with your job." And you're fighting this negativity all the time. And what I have tried to do in the last 18 months is I've tried to remove everything negative out of my life. I don't like listening to, everyone can have their opinion, but I've got mine I want. And the fact that I'm involved with this group of people now that is just growing and growing. And, you know that you're going to have a laugh every day in that group, and everyone's so fun. Everybody wants the same thing, and we're all pushing in the same direction. And to be surrounded by that positivity and that support every day, it's gone a really, really long way. If this was something that I just decided I'm going to try and learn how to trade, and I just went onto YouTube and just had a look at a few videos and things like that, without that support in the background all the time, I would have given up. So it's just great. It's just great. It's really good.
Now, one of the most exciting things which has happened, and hopefully you don't mind me sharing this, is very recently you have become what a lot of people in the group are aiming to become, and I have no doubt that everyone will achieve this, but you are now a funded trader. So massive, massive congratulations. For various people who are watching this for the first time, could you just go over what being a funded trader is and the advantages of the leverage that gives you?
Yeah, so there's different companies that you can work with to get funded, and basically what you'll do is you trade in a certain way that is the biggest class ever.
I've just got a really small head.
It's only half a pint, that.
Yeah, I'm really small.
Yeah, so what we do is basically, if you trade in your own money, and say you have £100 account, you have to use risk management to make sure that you can, you don't blow your account, you don't lose all your money, you're only risking a certain amount per trade. So to build £100 into something meaningful that you could live off or draw money from would take a really, really long time. So what we're all aiming to do, and I know that, there's a lot of people really close to it now, get funded. And what that means is, so long as you trade within the parameters of the company, you have to pass a series of tests to show that you're a consistent trader. You don't risk, you're not gambling, and then you trade with their money. And what that does is that gives you ability to earn a living from it. So I've just got funded, so I'm really, really happy. It's been
amazing,
a long process of learning the discipline, because Vicky will tell you, but I'm quite an impulsive person. So mastering my own mind has probably been the most difficult thing for me. And not jumping into things, only entering a trade when it's right, when I've got the confluences. So I've managed to pass the test and I've got funded, and now I'm able to trade a £10,000 account. And then at the end of each month, however much profit I make, I keep 80% of it. So yeah, I'm really, really happy. It's quite scary as well, because I've worked up to it for so long. And now that I've got the account, I'm taking very few trades because I don't want to do it wrong, and I need to have that belief in myself. But I've had a good day today, so I've put a few trades on, and I am like £212 up today, which is real money. And at the end of the month, I get to keep the 80% of whatever I've made. So I'm really happy, and I'm on my way to replacing my wage, which is what I wanted to do. That was the whole target, purpose, aim, goal that I had. And this is just one step. We've got loads of stuff, haven't we? But this is just one step towards that. And the plan now is build that account, and you can get up to sort of £300,000. So I'm right at the beginning. I'm on the first step, but that first step, it feels like a big one. So yeah, I'm chuffed. I'm really chuffed.
It's a huge one, and it's a massive congratulations from me and for everyone else at Relentless too. It just proves that this pathway works. If you put the time in, if you associate yourself with the right people, if you put the hours in, if we'd said to you 18 months ago you're going to be a 5-figure funded trader, you may or may not have believed it at the time, depending on what your limiting beliefs were at the time. I have no doubt that within the next 12 months you're going to be a 6-figure funded trader, and then so on and so forth, and then be able to pay that forward and educate other people in how you've done this. It's just, full respect to you, because hard work works. This hasn't happened overnight. As you say, there's been the ups and downs that have gone with it, but you've never quit. You've never thrown the towel in. You never said that this isn't for you. You've believed in yourself, and you've believed in the process. And this should hopefully instill confidence and belief in other people who either haven't started this journey yet or are thinking about maybe getting involved in this journey. So it's brilliant. It's really, really good. And as well as being involved in this, you're also involved in nodes as well. So all your eggs aren't in one basket, as well as trading yourself. Tell us a little bit about your node journey.
Oh, wow. Node life. We're all very happy about this, aren't we?
Hashtag node life. Once people see that and go, what are they on about now?
Yeah. No, this is amazing. Trying to explain a node to someone is very difficult. But all I know is that I want to create different sources of income. I want some of those sources to be passive. I want my money working for me rather than just sat in the bank. And this is something that is obviously, not obviously, but it's crypto based, which everybody knows that crypto it is a great way. If you invest in the right way, you can make money from it. And this provides passive income. And I have got myself to the level where I've got 4.
We got 4 now. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting rid of that job, me. I don't want to work anymore.
Are they watching live?
I'm just gonna. Yeah, I did wonder that. I'm gonna have my notice in soon, so Merry Christmas.
Okay. Absolutely. And just briefly on nodes, because I was explaining this to somebody the other day, and I was saying, if you imagine that you've got container ships that move containers all the way around the world, your Bitcoin and the Ethereum is the container, but the node is the ship that moves it from Hong Kong to Marseille. So nodes, effectively, you're investing in the infrastructure of cryptocurrency. So it doesn't really matter what the individual coins are doing. If you've invested in the infrastructure, then that's how you're gonna make money. And I watched a program the other day about the guy who invented containerization. and he made all of his money from the infrastructure. He didn't patent the container itself. He made it from the ports and the boats that he moved around the world and stuff. So if you invest in infrastructure, I think, usual disclaimer, I think you should be okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, so long as there are crypto transactions going on, then that's how we get paid. So it doesn't matter if it's going up, if it's going down. We just want there to be things going on. So it's great. It's really, really good. This is massive. Anyone not involved should be. Absolutely.
And I think there's a pivotal point at the moment. I even noticed it on Sky News yesterday. They were talking about the consumer price index in America and how, the US dollar had moved. And then it talked about the Bitcoin price as well. So at the same time as talking about the US dollar moving on Sky News, it was talking about the price of Bitcoin as well. And it's sort of on that cusp now of early adopters moving into more mass adoption. It just seems to be a lot more accepted.
Yeah, it's more common. I don't think it's as scary to people who pay for things with crypto now. It's just the way that it's going, isn't it? There's, paper money in the end will die out, and it's all going to be sort of computerized transaction. So is where it's advertised everywhere now as well, isn't it? Was it crypto.com? It's being advertised all over the place.
They're a global sponsor of Formula One. Formula One's about a £5 billion global industry. They sponsor UFC. That's about an £8 billion global industry. They sponsor Aston Martin. All of these massive companies have due diligence departments, not just people, but departments that will check stuff. And all of those organizations aren't going to get involved in stuff if they think it's a scam, because it clearly isn't, or if they didn't think it was a long-term project that they wanted to get themselves involved in. Matt Damon did an advert the other week for them. He'll have a brand department, and he won't want to be getting associated. He doesn't need the money. He won't want to be getting associated with stuff which could potentially damage his brand. So as he says in the advert, fortune favors the brave. And going full circle back to 18 months, I'm sure it would have been scary when you started on this journey to go, do you know what, I'm going to see if there's another way. I'm going to try and do something which is slightly different, which is slightly against the norm, might be perceived as slightly risky, but we teach about risk management. But there's no harm in having a look and trying to learn a skill which is going to potentially, and has done, benefit you for the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think people just, as a whole, people are very narrow-minded, aren't they? And I think if you are more open-minded about different options, then you're opening doors for yourself, aren't you? And you're giving yourself a chance. And that's what I've tried to do, and it's worked. But if you don't try, then you don't progress. You don't get anywhere, do you? So it's the best thing I've done, getting involved with the team, getting involved with Forex, with crypto, and yeah, I would hate to think if I went back 18 months and I decided, if I didn't have that sort of like moment, really unhappy. And I think now I'm not because I decided to do something instead of just the same old grind. Nothing was changing. And that's you just have to just take a leap of faith sometimes, don't you?
And that's it. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And you say people get narrow-minded, and they are. And I think it's how they're brought up. You're taught to go to school, you're taught to get GCSEs, your A levels, progress up the corporate ladder, work 40 hours a week for 40 years, and then retire for 10. But during that time, people are putting away money into a pension. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but then if you're buying an annuity for £100,000, which then returns you £400, £500 a month, when a node can return you £1,400, £1,500 a month after the first month, then it might be worth having a look at just to see if there's another way.
Mm-hmm.
So
just have a look. There's other options. Definitely.
It's either your connection or my connection, which is dying. So we've been on for 25 minutes. So thank you very much for your time. I know you're a busy 5-figure funded trader now, and I probably need to pay you for this time, as you could have been making money in the markets. So I will draw it to a close and say thank you ever so much.
I've got my charts with some people.
Yeah. We will obviously get you on again to find out how you are progressing and stuff. But a massive congratulations from me and everyone else as well. And we will no doubt chat soon.
Thank you. Yeah, great. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I was really scared, but it's been all right.
There you go. The first one's always the worst. We'll do many more. All right.